scattered across the ancient world, lie structures that continue to challenge everything we think we know. Built from stones weighing hundreds of tons, aligned with extraordinary precision, and constructed in locations that even today seem barely accessible. These were not primitive attempts at building. They were deliberate, ambitious, and masterfully executed achievements that have stood for thousands of years. And in many cases, how they were created remains genuinely, completely unknown. In this video, we are taking a closer look at some of the most remarkable of them. Deep in the Bekaa Valley of modern-day Lebanon stands a site that has puzzled engineers, archaeologists, and historians for centuries. Baalbek, once a thriving center of ancient worship, it contains what many believe to be the most ambitious stone construction ever attempted by human hands. At its heart lies the Temple of Jupiter. But before you even look at the temple itself, you have to confront what it's built on. The foundation platform beneath it contains some of the largest stones ever used in any construction project in human history. These are known as the trilithon 3 colossal limestone blocks, each one weighing approximately 800 tons. To put that into perspective, a single one of these stones is heavier than a fully loaded Boeing 747. And there are 3 of them placed side by side at a height of roughly 8 meters off the ground. But the trilithon isn't even the most extreme example. Nearby, still partially buried in its ancient quarry, lies a block known as the Stone of the Pregnant Woman. It weighs an estimated 1,000 tons. A 4th block, discovered more recently, is believed to exceed 1,650 tons, making it the single heaviest stone ever cut by human hands in recorded history. It was never moved. It still sits exactly where it was quarried, as if the project was simply abandoned mid-task, with no explanation left behind. What makes Baalbek truly difficult to explain is not just the weight of these stones, but every step of the process. They were quarried from a site located nearly a kilometer away. They were transported across uneven terrain. They were lifted and positioned at height with a precision that left joints so tight, so perfectly aligned, that the blocks have remained stable for over 2,000 years. No mortar was used, no modern equipment existed, and no written record has ever been found describing how any of it was done. Even today, with cranes capable of lifting hundreds of tons, engineers acknowledge that moving and placing an 800-ton block with this level of accuracy would be an extraordinary challenge. Some of the world's most powerful modern cranes max out well below the weight of these stones. The logistics alone, the coordination, the workforce, the tools remain genuinely unresolved. Various theories have been proposed over the decades. Elaborate ramp systems, wooden sledges, organized labor forces in the tens of thousands. But none of these explanations has been proven, and none fully accounts for the precision of the final result. The stones don't just sit there, they fit. Each one shaped and positioned as though whoever placed them knew exactly what they were doing, at a scale that still doesn't make complete sense. Baalbek doesn't ask you to believe in the impossible. It simply asks you to explain the possible. And after 2,000 years, no one has been able to do that convincingly. The stones remain exactly where they were placed, silent, enormous, and still waiting for an answer. In the ancient city of Thebes, along the eastern bank of the Nile, stands a structure that even in ruins manages to overwhelm the senses. Karnak, one of the largest religious complexes ever built. And at its core lies a space that no photograph, no description, and no modern building has ever truly managed to replicate. The Great Hypostyle Hall. Step inside, and the scale hits you immediately. 134 stone columns rise from the ground, arranged in 16 rows across a floor space of roughly 5,000 square meters. The largest of these columns stand over 21 meters tall and are so wide that it would take 6 people with outstretched arms to wrap around a single one. Each column is not a single piece of stone. It is a stack of massive carved drums, lifted into position and assembled at height, one on top of another, until they reached the sky. Now consider what that actually required. Every drum had to be quarried from sandstone deposits, shaped with precision, transported to the site, and then raised, without cranes, without steel cables, without any of the lifting equipment that modern construction takes for granted. And this was not done for one column or 10. It was done 134 times. Each column finished, decorated, and covered top to bottom in deeply carved hieroglyphics and painted relief scenes that have survived for over 3,000 years. The weight involved is staggering. The roof slabs that once sat across the tops of these columns, many of which have since collapsed, each weighed dozens of tons. Lifting them to a height of over 21 meters and placing them with enough accuracy to span the gaps between column tops required a level of structural understanding that is genuinely difficult to attribute to the tools of the time. Stone hammers, copper chisels, wooden sledges, and human labor on a massive, organized scale. What makes Karnak even harder to fully explain is that the hall was not built in one single effort. It was developed in stages across multiple pharaohs and dynasties, and yet the overall design remained consistent. The spacing of the columns is deliberate. The gradation in height from the central aisle outward was intentional, allowing light to filter in from elevated clerestory windows in a way that illuminated the central processional path. This was not accidental engineering. It was planned, it was deliberate, and it was executed with a consistency that spanned generations. No complete ancient blueprint has ever been found. No detailed construction record survives that explains the sequencing, the logistics, or the techniques used to raise and finish a hall of this size. What we are left with are the columns themselves. Still standing, still carrying their carvings, still casting the same shadows they cast 3 millennia ago. The great Hypostyle hall was built to make human beings feel small. After 3,000 years, it still does exactly that. High in the Peruvian Andes, at an altitude of nearly 2,800 meters, sits a site that quietly dismantles assumptions about what ancient civilizations were capable of. Ollantaytambo, a fortress, a temple, and an engineering achievement that continues to resist easy explanation. The stones here are large. Some of the granite blocks used in the upper temple weigh more than 50 tons. But weight alone is not what makes Ollantaytambo extraordinary. What stops engineers and archaeologists in their tracks is where these stones came from. The quarry site is located across the Urubamba River and up the face of a separate mountain, a straight-line distance of roughly 6 kilometers. But the actual transport route, accounting for the river crossing and the mountain terrain, would have been significantly longer. And there were no wheels, no iron tools, no draft animals capable of pulling loads of this size. Just rope, wood, human coordination, and a problem that by any modern logistical standard should not have been solvable. Yet it was solved. The blocks arrived. And once they did, they were fitted together in a way that created its own separate mystery. No mortar was used anywhere, and yet the joints between stones are so precise, so deliberately shaped, that the faces lock against each other with almost no gap. Some joints follow irregular, interlocking angles, meaning each stone was individually shaped to match its specific neighbor. Not standardized, not approximate, exact. The walls built this way have survived centuries of seismic activity in one of the most earthquake-prone regions on Earth, because the precision of the fit allows the stones to move slightly and resettle rather than crack and collapse. What no one has been able to fully answer is how all of this was organized. The quarrying, the transport, the shaping, the fitting, each stage alone would have been a significant undertaking. Together, at this altitude, across this terrain, they represent a level of planning and execution that still has no complete explanation. Ollantaytambo doesn't shout. It simply stands, perfectly fitted, quietly immovable, and still waiting to be fully understood. 30 miles northeast of modern-day Mexico City, rising above a landscape that was once one of the largest urban centers in the ancient world, stands a structure that has outlasted the civilization that built it, the name they gave it, and almost every record of why it was built at all. The Pyramid of the Moon.it stands at the northern end of a perfectly straight ceremonial boulevard known today as the Avenue of the Dead. That alignment is not accidental. The pyramid was positioned with deliberate precision relative to the surrounding landscape, oriented toward a sacred mountain directly behind it. The entire city of Teotihuacan appears to have been laid out around this axis, streets, platforms, and structures arranged according to a master plan that required an advanced understanding of geometry, astronomy, and urban organization. All of this achieved by a civilization whose name we do not know, in a language that has never been deciphered. The pyramid itself rises approximately 43 meters and covers a base of roughly 150 by 130 meters. Beneath that exterior lies layer upon layer of earlier construction. The pyramid was not built once. It was built at least 5 times, each phase encasing the previous one, growing outward and upward over centuries. Inside these layers, excavations have revealed ritual burials, offerings, and sacrificial remains, suggesting the structure served a deeply ceremonial purpose. But the exact nature of that purpose, and the belief system behind it, remains largely unknown. What continues to challenge researchers is the sheer volume of material involved. Millions of tons of stone, rubble, and earth were moved, shaped, and stacked without metal tools, without wheeled vehicles, and without any written record of how the workforce was organized or sustained. The logistics of feeding, coordinating, and directing the labor required to build something of this scale remain genuinely unresolved. A civilization capable of all of this left almost nothing behind to explain itself. No deciphered writing, no identified rulers, no clear origin story. Just the pyramid, still standing at the end of the avenue, oriented exactly where they intended it to be.